Hello, welcome to another video with me, Kieran Mason, and today I thought I should do a video on Windows 7. Now Windows 7 is going to be losing support on January the 14th, 2020 this year, and I thought maybe I should do a video on alternatives for people that are using Windows 7 and they are in a rush on thinking what they need to do. People who are using professional and enterprise, I think, are allowed, if they pay, they are allowed to keep going with the updates for Windows 7, and I think only till 2023. But it's only for those two versions. None of the other ones will be able to let you carry on the updates. So like Windows 7 Premium, Windows 7 Home, Windows 7 Starter, all those operating system versions will not let you carry on. So what are you meant to do about it? Well, there's alternatives. There's different alternatives that you can use that will be beneficial for different people. So if you're a person who still wants to use Windows 7 but does not want to upgrade to Windows 10 at all, the alternative is you could use Windows 8.1. If you use 8.1, you will need to upgrade with a disk, some sort of disk, you'll need to upgrade with that. You cannot buy boxed copies of Windows 8.1 anymore. You'll have to find like an ISO image, things like that, and you can upgrade via that way. The good news about Windows 8.1 is it's supported until 2023, and also you can also bring back the start menu. It's not default, but you can bring back the start menu, and it's called Classic Shell. So if I go to Classic Shell, it's called classicshell.net. And when you get onto this website, what it basically does is it will bring back the start menu for Windows 8, 7, 8.1 and Windows 10. I don't see why you would need to bring back the start menu for Windows 10 or Windows 7 because it's basically there for you. But I guess if you don't like some of the features of Windows 10, Classic Shell will get rid of them, especially the tiles. So if you want to have a classic start menu, obviously you'll be able to bring that back. If you have it on Windows 8.1, as I said, which would be great alternative for people that are upgrading and don't want to go to Windows 10, you can use Windows 8.1. Yes, everybody hated Windows 8 and 8.1, but it is still supported and it's still quite fast to use. If you know what you're doing, it's great. You could also use Classic Shell. So if you want Classic Shell on Windows 8.1, what it will do is it'll bring back the start menu, the classic file explorer, it will bring back the favorites bar in Internet Explorer and things like that, and skins you can customize it with like the Windows XP skins and things like that, and the Vista and 7. So that's a very good alternative if you want to go to 8. If you want to go to 10, I think that would be very, very good alternative for Windows 7, is because you have got a lot more support for it, and it does run quite smooth. It runs quite quite smooth. If you've got a new machine, you're better off just buying a new machine. Find a great one that will suit you for Windows 10 or for you. So if you go on to Windows 10 laptops, you know, you can get affordable ones, an Acer Aspire, you know, 4 gigabyte with 64 gig. It's a CloudBook, you know, $179.99. That's quite affordable. You've got loads of choices. There's loads of different types of laptops. You can go for refurb. You know, you can go for refurbished computers as well. So if you want ones that have been refurbished and gone to Windows 10, they're good alternatives as well. If you don't want to be on Windows anymore, a great alternative is Linux. Linux is a great, lightweight operating system that you can use on any Windows computer. The best, you can use Linux Mint, you can use Ubuntu, and they're quite light as well, and they are very, very good if you don't like Windows and you just want something just to go on the internet, and things like that, then that is a pretty damn good alternative to upgrade to. It is ultra modern, and if you want a modern UI operating system, Linux is your route. If you don't want Linux or Windows, then if you want Apple, then you're gonna have to get an Apple machine, because you can do like Hackintoshes, but it's not a recommended. It's totally not recommended. One, it's illegal and it doesn't really work at all, because Apple don't want you running their operating systems on a Windows machine. It's very hard to do it. So if you do want to go an Apple route, then you can buy older MacBooks that are supported. So if you want, I think the best route to go to is maybe a MacBook Air. So if we go MacBook Air, see, they're about £300. That's the cheapest I've seen. That's refurbished. Sorry. So Couriers, you know, these are they're quite expensive. I think they're quite expensive. You're better off going for a refurbished. If you really want a MacBook or something like that, go for a refurbished. I have a MacBook 2010 unibody, and they are very good, but if you want a faster machine, I would recommend going for an i5, not a Core 2 Duo, an i5 or i7s or i3s, you know, that route, with High Sierra or Mojave or things like that. If you want the latest updates and things like that, then I would go that route. I wouldn't go any older. I've gone for a MacBook Unibody because I needed it for my college work, and it worked really well. It works really well. If you want to do maybe if you want like YouTube or like little Word documents or things like that, if you really want to go for the unibody, then that would be pretty damn great for it. But if you're doing like really big like gaming, if you want gaming and like video editing and stuff, I wouldn't really recommend a Mac at all. Maybe video stuff, but I won't go that old, not 2010. But for gaming, I wouldn't recommend Apple at all. Go for Windows. Windows is your place for gaming. And if you want gaming, then Windows 10 will be good for gaming. It is literally made for gaming. There's lots of things for Windows 10 for gaming. It's remarkable how good if you want that route, an Apple route, then it will get pricey. But believe me, I've gone to Apple. I'm more in the Apple side now, and believe me, it is very good. Very, very good. So it's up to you, really. What route you want. If you want to go a different route from Windows, then Linux is the cheapest option. It runs smooth and it's a lot more modern. So if you want that route, go for it, because it will help if you go for Linux. If you don't want a Windows, but if you want to stay with Windows, the two operating systems that are supported is Windows 8.1 and Windows 10. If you want it for gaming and fast speed, Windows 10 is your man. If you want Windows 8.1 for like searching the internet and things like that, Windows 8 is good. But if you don't like the Windows UI, then you've got Classic Shell, which I've shown you. It's classicshell.net. It's www.classicshell.net, and it's a very, very good program, and I have used it in the past, and I really, really recommend using it if you want to go to Windows 8. Or if you don't like any of the features in Windows 10, you could use that. If you do upgrade to Windows 10, you'll have a web browser called Microsoft Edge, and that is basically the modern version of Internet Explorer. It runs. When I used it, it was alright. I prefer to use Chrome, even though Microsoft Edge does have a lot of good features in, like ink tools, where you can, if you have like a smartboard or a tablet, you can use Microsoft OneNote. I think it's OneNote. Yeah, I think it's that or something. You can use the ink tools on the browser. On the browser, you can use the ink tools. It's very, very good. Or if you don't want that, then you can use Chrome, you can use Brave, you can use Firefox, you can use, think of another one, Opera, you can use that, you can use them. They're great alternatives for if you don't want to use Internet Explorer or Edge, then they're the web browsers to go for. If you do upgrade to Windows 10, you will sadly lose the gadgets that come with Windows 7. So if you did like the gadgets, you will sadly be not having the gadgets anymore. Also, Windows 10 games, Windows 7 games. So if I type in games, it's on the side. The games like chess, Free Cell, Minesweeper, Solitaire does come with Windows 10. You won't have Purple Place either, or Mojang Titans. You won't have them anymore. You can go and find them on the internet. I'm sure you can probably find them on the internet for Windows 10. But if you do have them on Windows 10, the chances are Microsoft, every time they will update your machine, they will get rid of it. Because it's not made for Windows 10, it's made for Windows Vista and 7. So, if you do upgrade to Windows 8 or Windows 10, there is an app store for the games or anything like that on their Microsoft Store. You can still get Minesweeper and things, but it won't be default. You'll have to get them from the store. So that's good. If you do upgrade to Windows 8, do upgrade to Windows 8, the system recommendations is 1 GHz or faster. Okay, it recommends 1 GB for 32-bit or 2 gig for 64-bit. Hard drive space, it wants 16 gig for 32-bit or 20 gig for 64-bit. That's the graphics card, Microsoft DirectX 9 graphics device with WDDM driver. If you want to upgrade to Windows 10, exactly the same. So it wants 1 GHz. It's got gigahertz or faster processor, or you know that. So RAM is 1 GB for 32-bit, 2 gig for 64-bit. Hard drive space 16. See, it's exactly the same, and that's not different. It's no different. So it won't be any different. If you want Windows 8, same specs as Windows 10. So if you don't like Windows 8, you can also upgrade to Windows 10, but you'll need to do it. Upgrade with a disk. So there you go. They're your different routes. I hope that's helped you. I'm Kieran Mason. Thanks for watching. And if you need any help in the comment section, please put it down in the comment section. That will be very helpful.